Greetings. Welcome to Safe Space Talks My Mastery. One more time and again, I'm your good girlfriend, Nigeria Anderson, here to share with you how to deal with a mental health crisis. Someone who's in crisis, we've seen it, and sometimes we just don't know how to respond. So, hopefully, after watching this show, you will know how to respond. And welcome to Mental Health Awareness Month. And so let's just get right on into it. I'm not going to be before y'all long in these summer months. You know, I want to enjoy the summer too. Hey, listen, we have a new time schedule for our seasons. So I'm going to be doing uh, March to May, and we're in May, so by the end of this month, I will be on vacation. And then we'll come back for the next season between September and November. So that works for me because I had actually started getting a little overwhelmed with talking about mental health and encouraging you that I had to realize I have to take some time back. When you deal with trauma, I keep trying to share with you, there is maintenance and there's a recovery process, and this is why I'm sitting here talking with you guys because I'm living it out in real time, and so it's important for me to share because I don't know what's the secret, you know. People become challenged. And if we become more open and transparent, we will have more healthy people in our community. And remember our campaign, Heal People, Heal People. So make sure you join us. Email me if you want to join the movement at safespacetalks@gmail.com. So let's go. A mental health crisis is when a person is at risk of hurting themselves or someone else. One major event can cause someone to have a mental health crisis, no matter how long you have known them and think they are so strong or they appear to have it all together. Okay? You can have one thing happen and it will just throw you off your path quickly. Trust me, I know. Our mind is still unknown, and today people are still trying to figure out the mind that God has given us. Okay? This is why you got to be connected. This is why you got to be connected. So, a mental health crisis and why we need to know how to help each other is key. Okay? And we want to know that some people are able to navigate it and recover quickly, and some people, it's going to take a minute, like it's taking me a minute, but it's okay. We going to get, and prayerfully we'll get through it together. Amen. Amen. And I thank God. I thank God. Y'all don't know. This is why I brag about Jesus. I don't care who minds and who don't mind. I'm going to tell you today, I have my right mind because of Jesus. All right, I got to get that in. So, I'll talk to you today about mental health crisis. Firstly, it does not discriminate. Mental health crisis, like I said, I don't care how long you know somebody who appears to have it all together, it does not discriminate. Go visit a psych ward, find out. You will see that every nationality is in there, okay? Because it does not discriminate. And that's why this channel adds value to the mental health community, because we share the common and uncommon about mental health associated with trauma. Safe Space Talks Mind Mastery is here every Wednesday, 12 p.m. noon Eastern Standard Time. Please share, tell people to lock in with us. It's important to know that you're never going to master your mind, but mastery will help you to continue to walk in victory. I'm not trying to rap. Those are bars they're just spitting out. I don't know what's happening right now. But, they will help you to be victorious in this journey of your recovery. You will not, to my understanding, I could be wrong, master it, but you will be able to come to understanding of how to use basic tools that I still do today that may help you, especially when you're feeling under pressure and stress, because that's when it's going to pop up. Or, you know, things go awry, or like I said, something unexpected happens that will throw you off your path. So this is why I sit here and share every week. It's not like I want to, but the Lord has asked me to share with you guys and get y'all all up in my business. But I'm going to be obedient, have been, will be forever. So, a mental health crisis, as I mentioned, can be when someone is in danger of hurting themselves or others. You may notice a change in behavior, such as not bathing, not eating, or unable to maintain their daily living skills. When I say hurt themselves, we can understand that that can begin with suicidal thoughts or actions, which is the place where the trauma has taken a total grip of an individual's emotional state of being in pain and hopelessness. That's their space that they're in. Some signs to look out for in your strong friend is the obvious change in their behavior. Words like, I don't want to burden anyone. They may lose weight, not trying, or gaining weight. Um, their appearance will look different. Their continence may be low. They don't have the hope, so they're operating in hopelessness, something you might not have noticed in them before. Speaking words of shame or guilt, maybe something that they may be dealing with inside because they're holding all of this stuff inside, whatever the trauma or whatever the distress may be. They may draw from their known support network. Y'all used to hang out, now they constantly canceling. And if you are part of a network, please check in with each other. You guys we gotta start being more, checking in with each other. They might begin to talk about death or start giving things away that that they value. This can be a signature sign of them trying to say goodbye. Remember, this does not mean just because people gain weight, lose weight, or change slightly, does not mean that, they're suicidal. Don't freak out. However, if someone who has a history of mental illness, then these are sure signs that you need to intervene, ask second and third level questions. When you see their parents change, them not caring about how they dress or their grooming. And again, like I said, this can happen to anybody, but these are key signs to be aware of. Maybe an individual stop taking their medication, and with those signs, there may be agitation, might not recognize familiar people around them, expressing strange ideas, appearing confused, or seeing things. You might have to call 911 so they can get back on their medication regimen with proper treatment. Many people will live active professional lives. Okay, look at Hollywood and some of your favorite actors and singers, etc. I'm not being funny. It's out there. And that's just a little small clip of the people who have confessed or, shared. Many actors have come out to share their mental health, conditions and stuff that they are going through. According to statistics, we can see that the world is in a mental health decline crisis. Just watch the news. As a matter of fact, I want to share this with you. Now, remember, this show is for mature audiences who are willing to do the work and desire to help. And I constantly share with you, I'm not the coochie coochie coo. I come hard because I understand what it takes to fully recover. I'm sensitive about triggers. So let me just flag this. The clip I'm about to show you is, this is a trigger warning. So, we're talking about suicide. So if you cannot watch, please fast forward or, do what you have to do. But I want you to watch this.
So my dad struggled with anxiety and depression, and I had noticed signs. 2019, we were on a family vacation. He wasn't himself at all. Would not come downstairs, would not get out of bed. It just was not him. He never was like that, especially at vacation. I kind of noticed it there, and then it got worse and worse, and you could tell he was just declining. But a few things happened after that vacation that I was like, yeah, this is not normal. Like, it's not, I'm sorry. It's not like, he's not himself. It was just one of those people you least expected. When a loss like this first happens, there's always anger, no matter what. I've now accepted why he did it, but I feel like the anger will always be there, it's just not as strong. Therapy has helped me a lot. It gives me somebody to go talk to and vent to, not just on my dad, but on other things happening. And when I get stressed, it always takes me back to my dad. I feel like it's a trauma response, but therapy has helped me so much. I want people to take away from this story that you're not alone. And I've learned that a lot this past month with this video, is you're not alone if you have lost somebody to this, and you're not alone if you are struggling. There's always somebody out there willing to listen. There's always someone you can go to if you are struggling. The biggest thing is that I made this TikTok too, is letting people know that they're not alone.
Statistics are showing across the board that all ages are dealing with a mental health decline. 40% of our younger generation have reported depression, suicide thoughts, and anxiousness in America. Now, remember, that are those who have reported. That number is not based on those who have not reported. And the unreported situations, that those people who are hiding in secret and holding on to the hurt, pain, and, the hopelessness feeling that they're keeping inside, because maybe they have a community they can share with, maybe they don't. And yes, we have 988 and we have places you can go, but sometimes I always say, when you have a mental instability, you're unbalanced. You can't think clearly to really seek out help. So this is why I do this, because I want you to identify signs. I want you to know what to look for in your family and in what to look for with your friends. And again, we can't dismiss their poor behavior. Now, depression, suicide thoughts, and anxiousness. Those are the top three that our younger generation is dealing with. Sit on that for a minute. Because in recent years, a 17-year-old committed suicide due to bullying, while another female went to school with a gun. This is why I got to take my vacation, because these reports and stuff like that get me all emotional. These are serious acts. These are serious responses to trauma. These are serious responses to those who are hurting. And in the first crisis, one was a danger to himself. This is what we're talking about, how you can identify. In the other crisis, the person was a danger to others. So they were in a mental health crisis. That's how they expressed it. And we can't have that. We can't have that. If you want to join Safe Space Talks Mind Mastery on our mission to support mental wellness, you want to help us, or you want to be a blessing to the movement, I really want you to email me at safespacetalks@gmail.com. Topics like this is hard for me, because I have friends. Again, was in the mental health um, um, field, and I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot. And I'm here each week to serve the mental health community, because I have had enough of things just happening and no one says nothing, and then a celebrity jump out and be like, oh, this happened to me, and everybody's like, ooh, ooh, ooh. No, this is every day. This is our families, our friends, people close to us. And I'm not a speaker. I'm not in front of the camera type person, but because I've been called to do it, I will sit here and I will give it to you. And like I said, I have to give it to you honestly. Yeah, and I don't have a million followers, but I promise you there are a million people out there suffering in silence. And I'm not going to beg, because I just don't do that, and nor do I have to. I believe wholeheartedly that people do what they want to do. If you want to help us, you're going to help us. And if you don't, you just don't. This is why all I could do is say, share. You never know when you share that someone in your on your line who may be suffering, right, or part of the unreported, suffering in silence, may see this show and say, wow, hey, we can reach out to Safe Space Talks Mind Mastery. Y'all see the people we have on here. We have professionals. We have the connections to connect people who need help to those who can help them. I mean, I don't know all the programs that's getting cut, but we cannot trust on that. I have to ask you to help, period, point blank. And truth be told, a lot of the youth don't even trust celebrities. So I'm not really trying to get a celebrity to come on to be like, hi, blah, blah, blah. I'm not really trying to do that. Especially because of all the inflammatory accusations made against half of everybody who got a name. Many of the people who are in trouble are using social media to try to become famous on their own. So they're not even looking at celebrities like that no more. And if they have a large number, they believe already that they are a celebrity. So it's up to professionals, those who have a heart and care like myself, to do something different, to help, to reach out, to do. And by the way, I just want to say we are averaging 20% of our viewership, which is real views and real people. So I want to extend and say thank you, thank you, thank you. I mean, who knew? Who knew? But I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me. I think you guys can see that through each show, how passionate I am about this. And so, thank you to the guests that come on the show. I so appreciate it, because, you don't have to, but you do, and you have, and it just shows me that We do still have good Samaritans. We still we still have good Samaritans, and I'm so excited about that. So thank you, thank you, thank you. So listen, with all the cuts, like I said, of the programs, and people like myself still here trying to help the least of these, or those who the system is rejecting. I mean, they cutting programs, but yet I heard Trump talking about he want to open up Alcatraz. Sit on that. Think about that. Why? Just ask yourself, why would he want to open up Alcatraz? Okay, so listen, we are in a state of an emergency. We are in a state of emergency when it comes to our youth. And I did a show about that, justice for our youth. And I've been talking about what's going on since the year started. I hope y'all listening to me. And if you haven't, please go back to the videos and just, take a listen. All right. We cannot continue to turn a blind eye. So, to those who have joined the movement, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I thank the Lord God for giving me the courage to come here and do what I'm doing, because, I just, I still love people. And y'all are God's people, whether you believe it or not. And while the church is trying to get people to come in the kingdom and save them, once you're saved and you still have to entangle yourself with the world system, you still need aid and help in different areas. And mental health is a key area, right? Right. Part of the whole thing is renewing your mind. So let's do that all, and let's all do that together. This is why I asked you to share the video. This is why. So for our youth, when I did the Justice for Youth, one of the things they kept saying was they needed guidance. They needed guidance. And so if you're a leader, if you're a mentor, as myself, who work with youth a lot, please, let's be on our posts. Sure, we're doing the best we can for our youth, male, female, even genders identifying themselves. We cannot ignore what's happening. Okay, now let's talk about the myths of mental health. All right. The myth about mental health, here's one. An individual who is experiencing a mental health crisis is playing around. That is a myth. And the ignorance behind that myth is hearing someone say, they always act like that. Oh my goodness. Well, one, I'm mad because, you're always do that. That means at what point did you check in, right? That they may be acting like that as a cry of help, but you have ignored the signs because you're thinking they playing around. No, no. Like I said, a mental health crisis is innate, and it doesn't discriminate in age or sex, race, creed, or color. So remember, behaviors that go may lead to a mental health crisis, especially if the person does not have a strong support system, especially if the person is challenged already. And so it's key when you see someone's behavior change or they're acting oddly. And I don't mean that every time someone's acting oddly, you see changes. Again, it doesn't mean they're in a mental health crisis, but please be mindful. These are the things that I'm sharing for you to be able to identify that maybe someone is in a mental health crisis, especially now at work. Okay, that's the new place for people. It's in school and it's at work. So, your coworker who normally comes in and it's like, "Good morning. Hey, everybody. And then, next week they just coming in and mumbling and grumbling. That's a change in behavior. Okay, so let's try to be proactive. And when you cannot talk to someone and you have to understand people who don't have someone to talk to. Okay, they lock this stuff inside. There's going to be a breaking point. And the first sign might be the visits to the hospital, and we talked about this before, which may be symptomatic, like you keep going to the doctor and you're like, this hurts or this is going on, and they keep telling you we can't find nothing. I mean, yeah, definitely, if you're feeling in distress, go to the hospital. But the reason why these symptoms are happening and the doctors can't find nothing is that stress. It's your body saying, hey, I'm, we're stressed out. It's a warning. Not always, but we're talking about the signs of mental health crisis. So let's take everything into consideration when behavior changes occur. Let's just pay attention. Let's give it some time and let's trust our instincts. Let's trust what we see, what we're observing in another person. And trust me, ain't nobody playing around. There's no playing around. Okay? Another myth might be they can stop if they want to. No. Okay. A mental health crisis may be connected to a chemical imbalance or it may come from a traumatic experience. So, either way, there's no snapping out of it. Okay. How many times I have to share with you having a mental instability is not a one, two, three, I'm free. This is a process that requires counseling, therapy, medication, and Jesus. And if you're not a believer, what am I going to say to them, family? Hope. There's still hope. Okay, so when a person is in a mental health crisis, they're experiencing feelings of anxiety, deep depression, symptoms of PTSD, hallucinations, voices, panic attacks, and the list goes on. So, no, they can't just stop. And if you've never had a panic attack or an anxiety attack, you just, no, 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 no. They are in a mental crisis and they are in distress and they need help. I say we can't just dismiss someone's behavior. Remember, we have to ask second and third level questions because sometimes people, don't know if they could trust you or if you care or, they don't need it on social media. So if you're going to truly be there for someone, truly be there for them. Okay? Here's another myth. Everyone who has murdered someone is not always mentally ill. I know the news and the shows want to try to make you think that. But there's a difference between someone who's challenged with mental illness and someone who is just evil and wicked. There's a difference. The person who is evil and wicked kills for pure enjoyment, while a person with a mental illness is impaired. So, and their impairment may be coming from the medication or just past trauma. Like I said, but y'all watching TV, and when some people kill, it's they're mentally ill, and when other people kill, they're barbaric and animals and all kinds of carrying on. They get in life. All right, myth. Here's another myth. If you have a mental illness, you will end up on drugs for the rest of your life. No, that is not true. When I was dealing with my mental instability, having a background, working at mental institutions and facilities, watching clients decompensate and become irritated and irate. I was like, Lord have mercy. I'm just not taking no medication. I don't care what they say. I don't know. I'm just not doing it. But I'm here to tell you I'm not on medication. And I actually ended up having to take medication. And this is so real, right? There are some professionals out here who really care about your well-being, and they are not trying to just pump you with drugs. There are sometimes drugs that will help with your anxiety. There are different things to help you cope and deal, to you know help your body kind of get slow it down, because you can get real hyper. Okay. So my situation was, my anxiety had gotten so high I couldn't go to sleep for a whole month. Now, let me say something to you. I know people break night and party all night and stay up all night and, go to bed, get up in the morning, go to work, whatever. But if you ain't never stayed up and couldn't go to sleep for a month, that's a whole nother situation. So I ended up having to take some medication to make sure that I get something to put me to sleep so I can get some sleep, because sleep deprivation is a whole nother thing. So, yeah. And I remember sitting in my therapist's office and she was like, "You seem real anxious." And I was like, um, like, I don't think so. And she was like, "Well, I can give you something for that." And I was like, "No, I'm good." The lies we tell ourselves and others. I was just sitting there lying, until I came in next week like, "Girl, I ain't been to sleep. Please, I need some help." So today they have so many treatments that's available besides medication. So I suggest that you get the help you need and stop trying to medicate yourself with weed, drugs, and alcohol. You are only prolonging your healing. And remember our campaign, Heal People, Heal People. So, those of us who came out of that stuff, join the campaign. Now, someone in a crisis, if you see someone is having a mental health crisis, let me help you. Never, never, ever, ever say, "Calm down." That individual needs your full compassion and empathy. You can say things like, "What can I do? What you what can I do to help? Do you want me to call someone?" But call 911. What I'm trying to say is, don't say, "I'm calling 911," because they will, okay, especially if they had a horrible experience with the police. But this is how you call 911. Or you have someone call 911 if a person is exhibiting a mental health crisis. Please, when you call 911, say, "I have a person who is exhibiting a mental health crisis. Can you send someone with training? Communicate. Open your mouth." Now, when I was in the field, I don't know if they still do it. I think they still do. When I would call 911, I would just simply say, "I have an EDP," which is emotionally disturbed person. That's what they use. Everything's changing. I don't know if they still use that. But however, if you call 911, please say they're exhibiting a mental health crisis. Can you send someone with training? Because if I see another situation where, you know, it's going too far, guys, we have to intervene, and we have to intervene correctly. And I hope you're learning tools and techniques and here at Safe Space Talks to help you navigate. All right. One thing in this season, you're going to have to be more vocal. Say what you mean what you say, and don't be afraid to ask for help. You're going to have to ask for help. I'm sitting here before you because I knew how to ask for help. I like, "Help me." Okay? My prayers at night was, Jesus, help me. Didn't have nothing eloquent to say, like, Holy Father, thank you, Lord God. No, help. I need some help. Okay? So you have to ask for help. You cannot just, you knew something was due 30 days ago, and it's the 29th of the month. It's 8 p.m., and you calling someone and saying, I need it by tomorrow at 9. Stop that. Stop that. That's disrespectful to the person you're asking. And, then you're mad if they can't help you. Now it's, oh, nobody can help me. No, you knew the situation prior to you calling. That's like someone sent me something at 11:30 in the morning saying at noon they was going to have this event. How you sending that to me at 11:30? And I know sometimes things you forgot, but you're speaking. So you knew that date. You can't ask for my assistance a half an hour before. No, I'm not doing that. So don't let pride get in the way of your downfall. If you need help, you must ask. Ask for help, ask for prayer, ask. Can you come with me to therapy? I say that all the time. Ask, ask. And then people want to fuss about the church and the saints, but we here. And ask. And let me say this, you don't have to belong to a church, okay? If it's a good church, you don't have to belong to the church. The church doors are open. They're supposed to be open. You can walk into any church and say, help me. I'm having this, or I'm dealing with this, or if you need your rent paid. These churches should have services on deck for the walk-ins. So you see a church, if you gotta wait to Sunday when everybody going to church, or when church let out, no. You should be able to get some help from church folks. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. From the church. Okay, whether you go there or not. I'm just sharing. Now, I love me some y'all. And remember to share this video. Check in on your strong friends. Mother's Day is around the corner. My mom has transitioned. I'm feeling okay, but I know that it's a tough day for me. It is. It's just a tough day. Sometimes I want to say Happy Mother's Day to mothers I know, and sometimes I don't. But they know that. They know that because I've shared. Someday, my sister is a mother. Sometimes I'll say it. Sometimes I might, hey, whatever. So I encourage you to be proactive with your mental well-being. There's no shame or guilt when it comes to your mental well being. Take it serious because the recovery is a process. It is a process. No shame or guilt. Okay? I don't care. I told you I'm 14 years in. It's 14 years. Okay? So, I was talking to another individual. She's 7 years. 7 years. This is not, I don't know if there's any rumor, but it is a process. And just like grief, you cannot put a time on that. Everybody processes everything differently. My situation, oh Lord have mercy, it just requires maintenance. It requires help. It requires prayer. It's still requiring of me. Good God. So, yeah. And before I go, again, the new time is March for May. We celebrate Mental Health Awareness Month. Again, I hope this video has blessed you. I know that suicide situation may have been a bit much, but I hope you had some clarity and understanding. And again, you're not the only one. You're not the only one going through. People are going through all over this world. That's why there's a decline in mental health. So we want to be proactive in helping those who want help. I can't help you if you don't want no help. Um, it is truly my honor to sit here every Wednesday and share with you guys. It really is. And I have friends. I have some celebrity friends, but I want regular people because let me tell you something. Like I said, celebrities, they got their own mess. You saw the picture. They got their own mess. I'm here every Wednesday. I'm getting ready to go on vacation at the end of this month. We're going to celebrate mental health awareness. If you have any topics you want me to discuss, email me at safespacetalks@gmail.com. I love me some of y'all. I'll be here, God's will. Next Wednesday, same bat time, same bat channel. I love me some of y'all. Thank you for sharing and listening.
Have you ever wondered about the potential that lies within you? It's vast, uncharted, and waiting to be discovered. Embracing personal growth is the key to tapping into this potential. It's about stepping out of your comfort zone and daring to explore new territories of self-discovery. Remember, it's not always going to be smooth sailing, but that's what makes the journey worth it. Start by acknowledging that you're a work in progress. It's all right to not have all the answers right now. Life's a journey of learning and evolving. Allow yourself the grace to make mistakes.